Sergeant Mara Vance snapped her rifle up, sighting the Veyron guard's trembling claw on his plasma blade. The alien loomed in the treaty corridor checkpoint, scales flushed crimson with rage or fear, hard to tell under the hive lights. His blade hummed inches from Ambassador Kade's exposed back. "Stand down," Vance barked in crisp Veyron trade tongue, her boots planted firm on the polished obsidian floor. 2 human Marines flanked her, weapons trained, but she waved them back. One twitch, and this corridor became a slaughter pen before the Queen's throne room doors. The guards snarled, mandibles clicking. Human filth defiles sacred path. Treaty is blasphemy. Foam flecked his jaws. Not standard patrol gear. That blade bore assassin's runes etched deep. Vance's pulse thrummed steady. She'd faced worse in the ash fields of Vera Prime. Goal: clear the path. No shots fired. Talks hinged on this corridor. "Blade down," she said, voice level, "or we all die pointless." He lunged half a step. Marines tensed. Vance slung her rifle one-handed, tossed it at his feet. Metal clattered. She raised empty palms, chest open. "See? No threat." "Your move." The guard froze. His blade wavered. Marines gaped behind her. Cole. Rowe would skin her for this. But Vance held eye contact. Veyron's prize dominance displays. But humans? They gambled on trust. Throne room doors hissed open. Queen Salith emerged, her iridescent robe swirling like oil on water. Towering, multifaceted eyes locked on Vance. Courtiers flanked her, Chancellor Runvar smirking at the fore. "Human Sergeant," Salith intoned, voice a silken blade. "You discard weapon before foe, witness to intent. Enter." Vance scooped her rifle but left it slung loose. She strode past the slack-jawed guard, Marines trailing. Ruin's eyes narrowed. Profit from war suited him too well. Inside, the throne room thrummed with tension. Crystal pillars amplified every whisper. Queen Salith ascended her dais, holographic treaty projections flickering above. Border seed, reparations, mutual demilitaries. Ambassador Cade stood rigid at the negotiator's arc, datapad in hand. "Call." Rowe loomed beside him. Uniform starched, jaw set like she smelled blood. Rune circled, claws steepled. "Majesty, this incident proves treachery." Human guard armed to the core, now disarmed by whim. Mockery. Kade leaned forward. "A lone agitator, Chancellor. Process demands." "Process," Ruin spat. "Honor demands proof. Veyron loyalty test." The sergeant kneels, offers throat to my blade. Human intent bared, or talks end in fire. Gasps rippled through the court. Veyrans clutched on her scarves. Rowe hissed under breath. "Idiot play, Vance. Now we're leverage." Salith's crest flared. Indecision. Survival clashed with tradition. One wrong word and hardliners torched the treaty. Cade's playbook crumbled. He shot Vance a desperate glance. Vance stepped forward, boots echoing. No fear. She'd seen queens break harder men. Rune's game. Force Salith reject humans publicly, rally warhawks, or make Vance flinch. Paint humans weak. "Your test," Vance said to Ruin, voice carrying. She knelt before the dais, not to him, but facing Salith. Unslung her rifle again, placed it crown up at the Queen's feet. Then, slow, she drew her sidearm, cycled the chamber empty with a click. All heard, and laid it beside. Empty holsters gleamed. Court murmured. Ruin barked laughter. "Toys! Throat! Human!" Vance tilted head, exposing neck, but her eyes stayed on Salith. Not defiance. Reading. The Queen's claws twitched. Micro-tremor. Fatigue lines under scales. Months of siege. Court whispers eroding her. Honor bound her. One slash ended it all. "Chancellor," Vance said softly, still kneeling. "Your blade took my squad on Epsilon Ridge. Good kill, Honorable." Rune blinked. Knew the babble. "But war ends when strength chooses mercy. Queen honors you by listening. Honor her back." Silence crushed the room. Rune's smirk faltered. Veyrans valued precision kills, not this. Vulnerability. Salith descended one step. Her claw brushed Vance's shoulder. "Light. Testing. You bear death for peace. Why?" Vance met those alien eyes. "Seen too many good ones die for bad calls. Yours is good. Let it stand." Rowe shifted, whispering to Kade. Coercion would have worked faster. Cade shook head, transfixed. Rune lunged forward. Majesty strike. Tradition. Salith's claw snapped out, not to Vance, but Rune's chest, pinned him mid-stride. Enough! Human offers throat. You offer chains. Loyalty test passed. Sergeant Vance witnesses. Veyra chooses strength in peace. Courtiers knelt as one. Rune sagged, defeated. Holotreaty glowed green. Signatures locked. Kade exhaled. Datapad beeping confirmation. Ro holstered her sidearm, grudging nod to Vance. Salith helped Vance rise. Grip firm. Rise, witness. Humans, bend without breaking. Vance shouldered her weapons. Corridor guard now disarmed by Veyron sentries outside. War's off-switch flipped. But as doors sealed, Ruin's eyes burned from the shadows. One loss wouldn't end his game. Salith turned to Vance alone. Stay. True intent unfolds beyond blades. Vance nodded. Peace held, for now. But eyes watched from the dark. Vance's boots echoed sharp on the polished obsidian floor as she shadowed Ambassador Cade into the Veyron throne room. Hostile stares drilled from every scaled face. Courtiers hissed low, claws flexing. Cade kept his stride even. Datapad clutched like a shield. Stay close, Sergeant, Cade murmured. These receptions are minefields. Vance nodded once, eyes scanning. Her pulse rifle hung low, non-threatening per protocol, but her fingers hovered near the grip. Vyrans towered twice human height, their iridescent hides rippling with tension. One wrong glance, and honor duels erupted. Queen Salith lounged on her spiked throne, multifaceted eyes tracking them. Flanking her, Chancellor Runvar smirked, his robes embroidered with war tallies. Vance clocked him first, the hardliner profiting from the 5-year stalemate. Katie bowed precisely. Majesty, we come to end the blood debt. Salith's tail flicked. Prove your words carry weight. Rune stepped forward, voice silk over steel. Ambassador, your delegation offends. No champion declared. Veyron law bars negotiation without one. Courtiers murmured approval. Vance tensed. She'd studied the protocols. Every envoy needed a blade bearer, proven in trial. Cade's jaw tightened. We request time to... No, Rune's claw pointed. Invoke the right of thorns now. Or leave. Call. Nisha Ro, at Kade's flank, gripped her holster. Vance caught her whisper. Let me handle this. One show of force, they fold. Cade shot her a glare. Process first, Colonel. Vance stepped up, voice level. I volunteer. Sergeant Mara Vance. Human infantry. You're right. My blade. Silence slammed down. Ruin's eyes widened fractionally. Veyrans prized killers who danced death precise. Gore for glory. A human? Unblooded by their standards. Salith leaned forward. You claim championship? Face Rune's nominee unarmed? Vance met her gaze. Per protocol. First blood ends it. Ruin laughed. Sharp. Amusing. My champion. Captain Thraxus. A hulking Veyron warrior strode from the ranks. Thorn sleeves glinting. Blades that extended from gauntlets like living whips. Cade pulled Vance aside. Sergeant. Rethink. Thraxus has 90 kills. Got it covered, sir. Vance unslung her rifle, handed it to Ro. The colonel frowned but took it. Ro muttered. Coerce them post-loss. Peace on our terms. Vance ignored her. Goal clear. Win clean. Open talks. No deaths. Veyrans respected control. The circle cleared in the throne room's heart. Thraxus shed his outer armor, muscles coiling like cables. His thorn sleeves hummed, edges monomolecular sharp. Vance stripped to fatigues, boots only, no weapons. Just hands, timing, will, Rune officiated, voice booming. First blood claims honor, yield forfeits all. Thraxus lunged first, blinding fast. Thorns whipped horizontal, carving air. Vance dropped low, rolled left. The blade sang past her ear, shearing a courtier's banner. She popped up inside his guard. Jabbed palm to his throat. Not hard, precise pressure. Thraxus reeled, choking reflex. Crowd hissed. Soft. Thraxus recovered. Roared. Dual thorns stabbed down. Vance sidestepped. Minimal motion. Her elbow cracked his wrist joint. Human leverage against alien bulk. Thorn gauntlet sparked. Half locked. He swung wild. Vance ducked, swept his lead leg. He crashed down, obsidian cracking. She pinned his arm, knee on his chest, exposed his throat. Thorns twitched, one grazed her forearm. First blood. Warm trickle. Vance held. Didn't press. Thraxus bucked, eyes furious. She waited, breath steady. His struggles slowed. Pride warred with protocol. Yield, she said. He snarled but tapped the floor twice. Right ended. Courtiers exploded in snarls. Rune's face twisted. Impossible. Human filth cheats. Salith rose. Precision, restraint, blood drawn true. Sergeant Vance champions. Cade exhaled. Datapad ready. Ro holstered her sidearm. Eyes narrow. Lucky. Next time firepower. Vance wiped her arm, ignoring the sting. Thraxus rose, bowed stiff, respect grudging. Delegation cleared. Talks opened. Hours blurred. Border concessions. Fleet withdrawals. Cadade negotiated sharp, leveraging blockades. Salith countered with honor clauses. Rune prowled the edges, whispering to hardliners. Vance stood guard, back to the wall. Her cut throbbed under quickseal. Salith's eyes flicked to her often. Calculating. Mid-session, Rune struck again. Majesty. Humans hide weakness. Demand full submission, or war resumes. Ro leaned to Cade. He's right. Push harder. Cade waved her off. Trust the process. Vance watched Rune's claws twitch, another ploy brewing. Queen paused at holomap. Sergeant, your right showed control. Explain humans. Vance straightened. We fight to end fights, Majesty, not prolong. Salith's tail stilled. Courtiers leaned in. Aliens valued dominance eternal. Humans bent. Rune interrupted. Lies. Invoke secondary right. Lethal proof. Gasps. Protocol allowed escalation if honor questioned. Cade paled. No basis. Law binds. Rune grinned. Thraxus seconds the challenge, or forfeit treaty. Salith's eyes hardened. Test or trap. Vance stepped forward. Accepted. Same rules? Rune nodded. To yield or death. Thraxus armed fully now. Thorns extended. Vance faced him again. Circle reformed. Stakes tripled. Delegation barred forever on loss. Thraxus charged smarter. Feints layered. Vance parried with forearms, bruises blooming. She timed breaths, read his tells. Tail twitch before strike. Thorn slashed her thigh. She gritted teeth, countered with knee to gut. Air whooshed from him. He adapted, circling. Whips cracked sonic. Vance dodged, closed distance. Grabbed his gauntlet arm, twisted against joint, locked it. Thraxus head-butted. Stars burst. Blood from her brow. She rode momentum, flipped him. Mounted, arm barred. Thorns inches from her neck. Yield, she gasped. He bucked. Claws raked her side. Shallow, she absorbed. Held position. Precise pressure on nerve cluster. His arm went limp. Thraxus tapped. Twice. Rune roared. Mercy mocks us! Salith silenced him with a look. Strength chooses mercy. Queen honors you by listening. Honor her back. Silence crushed the room. Rune's smirk faltered. Veyron's valued precision kills. Not this. Vulnerability. Vance knelt, bared her throat, unarmed, bleeding. Thraxus froze. Salith descended one step. But Ruin lunged from shadows. Now! End them! Vance's eyes flicked to the Queen. Peace hung on this. Word count 1287. Vance rolled left as Ruin's claws whistled past her ear. She snatched his wrist mid-swing, yanked him off balance. Thraxus surged up behind, but she drove an elbow into Rune's throat. He gagged, dropped. Guards froze. Palace protocol bound them until the Queen spoke. Salith raised one iridescent hand. Halt!
Silence slammed down. Vance released Rune, stood slow.
Blood trickled from her brow, soaked her side. She met the Queen's gaze. Golden slits narrowing. No time for games. Your Majesty, Vance said, voice level, under Veyron Code 47. Alpha, security personnel request private consult. Sabotage inbound. Your throne's at risk. Rune coughed, scrambled back. Lies. Human witchery. Salith's crest flared. Curiosity edged with steel. She gestured guards aside, code invoked. Approach Sergeant Vance. Speak. Vance stepped forward, ignoring the War Council's hisses. Ambassador Cade shot her a sharp look from the delegation line. Colonel Rowe gripped her holster. Vance knelt at the dais base, pulled a slim holopad from her vest. Palace eyes locked on. Veyran's prized ritual duels, not data dumps. Guard rotations, she said, projecting faint overlays. Blue lines traced the throne room perimeter, standard pattern. 12 shifts, sync to your solar hour. Yours skipped Sector 7 twice tonight. Anomalies here. Red pulses blinked. Intercepted tight beam from Chancellor's comms. Rerouted palace drones to vent plasma conduits during treaty signing. Blows the chamber. Kills everyone. Your hardliners play. Rune snarled. Fabrication. I demand trial. Salith silenced him with a flick. Her eyes bored into Vance. The human leaned in close, voice dropping to a whisper only the Queen could catch, mandibles inches from chitin-plated throat. Not fabrication. Proof's yours now. Execute him, you look weak. Purging your own. Let him slink. Announce rotation. Purge as honor cleanse. Blame shadows, not names. Treaty signs clean. Veyra saves face. War ends on your strength, not surrender. The Queen's eyes changed before she said a word, pupils dilating wide, golden slits blooming to full black. A shiver rippled her crest. Veyrans didn't flinch. They calculated. This was more. Salith straightened. Council dismissed, all but Rune Var. Detain him for review. Guards hauled the Chancellor back, his protests echoing. She turned to the Herald. Summoned the treaty chamber. Now. Humans. Stand ready. Katie blinked, exchanging glances with Rowe. Vance rose, wiped blood from her eye. The off switch flipped. Peace ignited, not in ink, but in that shared breath. Rune twisted in irons. Treachery. The Queen betrays... Salith's voice cut crystal. No. Strength betrays no one. She extended a claw-tipped hand to Vance. Escort me, Sergeant. Your vigilance honors Veyra. Vance clasped it. Firm. Equal. The throne room parted. Drones hummed overhead. Rotations reset. Treaty bells tolled distant. Hardliners chained. Hawks sidelined. One disciplined whisper turned the tide. But as they walked, Salith leaned close. You saw my eyes change. Why trust a human with that? Vance met her gaze. Because queens don't flinch, they choose. Vance's boot hit the polished throne room floor as the procession surged forward. Drones whirred above, broadcasting every step to the Empire's feeds. Queen Salith glided at the center, her iridescent scales catching the light. Treaty scroll clutched in one claw. Ambassador Cade flanked her left, Colonel Rowe right murmuring final terms. Vance scanned the crowd. Veyran nobles in spiked collars, hardliner eyes gleaming. A shadow twitched in the press. Vance's hand snapped to her sidearm. No shot. The attacker burst from the ranks. A guard in royal livery, blade flashing toward Salith's throat. Gasps ripped the air. Vance lunged. She slammed into the Queen, shoving her behind a marble pillar. The blade whistled past Vance's ear, slicing her cheek. Blood welled hot. She twisted, tackled the assassin mid-stride. They crashed to the floor in a tangle of limbs and chitin. Vance pinned his wrist, slammed his head once. Precise, controlled. The blade clattered free. The room froze. Guards drew weapons. Rune Var, the Chancellor, stood elevated on the dais. His crest flared in mock shock. Traitor! Seize him! Vance wrenched the assassin's comm from his belt. Logs blinked live. Chain of command pings, fresh as blood. She hauled him up by the collar, faced him toward the throne. Talk. Now. He spat, mandibles clicking. For honor, war eternal. Vance thumbed the comm. Holologs projected, orders cascading up. Guard to squad leader, quad to captain. Captain to Rune Var, time-stamped minutes ago. The crowd murmured. Salith rose from cover, eyes narrowing. Read it, Vance growled. She forced the assassin's claw to the device. His voice cracked out, auto-logged. Chancellor directs purge. Humans die first. Rune's scales paled. Fabrication. Human trickery. Vance tossed the comm at his feet. It skidded, logs looping. Nobles leaned in, crests flattening. Rowe gripped her holster, but Kate held up a hand. eyes wide, recalculating. Saleth's voice sliced the din. Chancellor Runvar. Approach. He descended, feigning dignity. Guards hemmed him in. Vance shoved the assassin forward, kept her body between him and the queen. Blood dripped from her cheek, staining her uniform. No one moved. You engineered this, Saleth said. Her pupils held steady, golden slits unblinking. Logs do not lie. Your honor cleanse ends here. Rune's mandibles worked. Majesty. Tradition demands loyalty. She signaled. Iron snapped on his wrists. Guards dragged him back. His shouts echoed. The humans poisoned you. Weakness. Silence fell. Saleth turned to Vance. Sergeant, your log saved my throne. Escort the procession. Treaty proceeds. Vance nodded, wiped blood with her sleeve. She fell in beside the queen, scanning flanks. Katie hurried up. That was improvised. Brilliant, Rose snorted. Risky. Could have ended him clean. Clean ends wars? Vance kept eyes forward. The throne room doors boomed open. Bells tolled. Treaty chimes. The chamber waited beyond. Vast, vaulted, hollow screens flickering with fleet positions. Human ships held orbit. Veyran armadas loomed opposite. Nobles filed in. Whispers buzzing. Drones captured every angle. Vance's bloodied face, Saleth's steady stride. They reached the signing dais. Saleth unrolled the scroll. Witnesses, sign. Cade stepped up first, stylus firm. Ink hit parchment. Veyran admirals followed. Claws precise. Rose signed last, jaw tight. Saleth paused at Vance. You, Sergeant. Witness for humanity's valor. Vance took the stylus. Her cut stung, but she marked it clean. Cheers erupted. Wary, then building. But Ruin's voice cut from the side chamber, irons clanking. This peace shames us. Fleets, strike now, gasps. A ripple hit the crowd. Hardliners shifted. Vance tensed. Saleth raised a claw. Silence him. Guards complied. She faced the assembly. Chancellor Var profited from war. Logs prove it. This treaty honors Veyra. Strength chooses peace. Her eyes met Vance's. A flicker, pupils dilating, black blooming. Veyran's didn't flinch. Vance held steady. Cade leaned in. She's committing. Fully, Roe muttered. Hope it's not a trap. Vance ignored them. She scanned the room. No more shadows. Drones hummed approval ratings spiking. Saleth sealed the scroll. War ends. Fleets stand down, broadcast empire-wide. Hollow screens lit. Armadas peeling apart. Human ships powered down weapons. Cheers swelled. But as the queen stepped down, she gripped Vance's arm. Claws gentle. Sergeant, walk with me. They moved through parting nobles. Whispers followed. The human bled for her. Var chained by logs. Saleth's voice dropped. You tackled without killing. Forced truth without rage. Why? Vance met her gaze. Killing ends fights. Truth ends wars. The queen's crest shivered. Humans, choose restraint as weapon. They reached a side alcove. Guards posted. Saleth waved them off. Alone, she extended a data slate. Var's full network. Purge it. Vance scanned. Names, bribes, fleet saboteurs. I'll log it for your counsel. No, Silas' claw tapped Vance's chest. You choose the cuts. Precise, like your tackle. Vance hesitated. Trust this deep? But eyes didn't lie. Honor cleanse? Saleth's pupils bloomed again. Yes, blame shadows, save faces. War dies quiet. Vance nodded. She keyed commands, rotations purged, no names named. Slate chimed done. Let him slink, Vance said. Announce rotation purge as honor cleanse. Blame shadows, not names. Treaty signs clean. Veyra saves face. War ends on your strength, not surrender. The queen's eyes changed before she said a word, pupils dilating wide, golden slits blooming to full black. A shiver rippled her crest. Veyrans didn't flinch. They calculated. This was more. Saleth straightened. Council dismissed. All but Runvar. Detain him for review. Guards hauled the Chancellor back, his protests echoing. She turned to the Herald. Summon the treaty chamber. Now. Humans, stand ready. Cade blinked, exchanging glances with Roe. Vance rose, wiped blood from her eye. Rune twisted in irons. Treachery. The queen betrays. Salith's voice cut crystal. No. Strength betrays no one.
She extended a claw-tipped hand to Vance.
Escort me, Sergeant. Your vigilance honors Vera. Vance clasped it, firm, equal. The throne room parted. Drones hummed overhead. Rotations reset. Treaty bells tolled distant. Hardliners chained. Hawks sidelined. One disciplined whisper turned the tide. But as they walked, Salith leaned close. You saw my eyes change. Why trust a human with that, Vance? Met her gaze. Because queens don't flinch, they choose. The chamber doors hissed open. Ink waited. But a new ping hit Vance's comm. Rose private line. Sergeant. Incoming hawk chatter. Treaty might not hold. Vance's grip tightened on the queen's hand. Peace flickered. One more shadow. Vance stepped into the treaty chamber. Queen Salith's claw firm in her grip. Drones whirred above crystal podiums. Heralds unrolled parchments. Ambassador Cade strode forward, tablet glowing. Final terms, Your Majesty. Kadi projected the treaty hologram. Blue lines marked mutual withdrawals from the Veil Nebula. Red icons tallied prisoner exchanges. 50,000 souls each side. Equal ground. No annexations. Ceasefire holds in 12 hours. Salith released Vance's hand. She mounted the dais, crest high. Proceed. Colonel Rowe burst through the side arch. Boots echoed on stone. Her uniform crackled with fresh insignia. Ambassador, stand down. This deal's suicide. Cade pivoted. Colonel, protocol. Veto invoked. Rowe slammed a data chit on the podium. It bloomed punitive clauses. Veyran reparations in plasma tech, demilitarized zones under human oversight, war-guilt admissions etched in their law. War ends on our terms. Punish the aggressors, or we walk. Murmurs rippled from Veyran aides. Claws flexed. A herald hissed. Insult. Salith's pupils narrowed to slits. She scanned the clauses. Vance felt the queen's tension. Crest feathers quivering. Rowe's push could shatter everything. Hardliners like Rune still schemed in chains. Hawks like Rune fed the fire. Vance moved. She tapped her wrist comm, silencing Rowe's private line. No more shadows. She pulled her secure pouch. Battlefield ledgers, etched in Veyran script and standard. Months of blood tallied. Human dead. Veyran fallen. Same numbers. Same waste. Colonel. Vance's voice cut clean. She slid the ledgers across the podium, one to Rowe, one to Salith. Read casualty, Sector 7. Your push, ma'am. Their ambush. 5,000 each. Then 9. Their raid. Our counter. 8,000 gone. Rowe snatched the ledger. Her eyes flicked lines. Sergeant, this changes nothing. Changes everything. Vance pointed to the totals. Hollow columns matched perfectly, translated by Veyran, POWs who'd begged for peace. We bled equal. Punish them, they punish back. Ledgers don't lie. Salith traced a claw down her copy. Golden eyes widened fractionally. She cross-checked Cade's treaty map, withdrawals aligned with the graves. Prisoners matched the missing. Rowe straightened. It's leverage, Vance. Weakness invites. Weakness? Salith's voice thundered. She swept the punitive chit to the floor. Crystal shattered. Your leverage buries queens. She seized Cade's stylus. Ink hovered over the treaty. This honors the dead. Rowe lunged forward. Your Majesty, end the war. Salith signed with a flourish. Wax sealed before Rowe's hand fell. Heralds gasped. Drones broadcast the stroke galaxy-wide. Sector fleets pinged acknowledgments. Guns powering down. Kade exhaled, shoulders dropping. Signed. Binding. Rowe froze, face ashen. Vance stepped between her and the dais. Restraint held the colonel back. No blood here. Salith turned to Vance. Sergeant, Veyran law demands more than ink. Ceasefire binds by vow. She extended both claws, palms up. Rare exposure. Trust absolute. Witness my oath. Repeat in your tongue, then mine. Vance clasped the claws. Warm scales met calloused skin. Court held breath. I, Mara Vance, vow safeguard. Peace endures. Salith's crest flared bright. Echo. Que vadis salith. Vorak endures. Vance repeated the Veyran words, phonemes sharp from drill nights with Powda linguists. Their grips locked. Light pulsed from the dais. Law crystals hummed approval. Binding. Aides knelt. Heralds chanted. Ro backed away, comm buzzing with frantic overrides. Kade grinned, first wheel smile. Playbook obsolete, Sergeant. Salith released the clasp. Her eyes bloomed black again. Choice made. Humans choose life over graves. Vera learns. Vance nodded. Comm vibrated. Fleet confirmations. Guns, silent across the sector. One command from one queen. Every trigger waited. But Ro's glare burned. She mouthed, "Not over." Shadows lingered. The chamber doors sealed. Vow echoed in Vance's bones. Peace held. For now. Heralds escorted delegates out. Salith lingered, gesturing Vance aside. Private alcove. Away from eyes. Your ledgers. How obtained? Pause traded stories. Matched our logs. Vance kept it simple. No boasts. Salith tilted her head. Crest feathers smoothed. Ruin hid those truths. War profited him. You revealed without conquest. Truth cuts deeper. Vance checked her sidearm habit. A drone hovered, relaying signatures. Outer rims acknowledged. Human carriers stood down. Veyron hives powered shields off. Ro cornered Kade in the hall. Vance overheard, trailing. This naive pact. Naive won it, Colonel. Cade's voice steady. Her signing? Vance's doing. Ro spotted Vance. Sergeant, Hawks report Rune's allies mobilizing. Treaty inks wet. Vance tapped her comm. Fleet pings green. Queen's vow binds them. Legally breaks. Ro's jaw set. Request override from command. Salith appeared. Guards flanking. Human Hawk. Your veto fails. Depart with honor. Ro saluted crisp. Peace is fragile, Majesty. Fragile chooses strength. Salith waved dismissal. Vance watched Ro exit. Shuttle engines roared distant. One Hawk down. Back in chamber, Kade packed hollows. Sergeant, you turned her. Empathy over ultimatums. Ledgers did. Vance holstered the pouch. Humble truth. A Salith summoned her again. Throne alcove now. Sergeant Vance. Escort remains. Till ink dries, Majesty. Claws met once more. Vera remembers choosers. Drones hummed final broadcasts. Prisoner ships launched. Equals exchanged. Graves unmarked, but honored. Vance's comm cleared. Sector quiet. One vow silenced the guns. Yet Rune's shadow whispered through channels. Hardliners plotted. Hawks circled. Peace flickered bright. Vance gripped her ledger. Ready. Queen's eyes met hers. Black pupils held steady. Choice endured. Heralds told victory. Fleets drifted home. War's off switch flipped. But Vance felt the pull. One more test loomed. Shadows never fully chained.